I recently made another pickup for the Switch 2. That being the, here we are, Switch 2 Pro Controller. Yeah. So, yeah, for a while I had been using the Switch 2, with like the Switch 1 Pro Controller. Yeah, I think like one of the caveats of those original Switch 1 Pro Controllers, I can't wake the system up, which I mean is not like the main reason why I got this thing. Like I felt like I eventually was going to grab this particular controller. You know, because I've been hearing a lot of good, like despite the price, this is $84.99, this controller, so it's not cheap at all, but from what I've heard, this is an excellent feeling controller. And I've kind of been dying to try it, honestly. Funnily enough, when I went into Best Buy, I actually saw a demo unit. Like, there was a Switch 2 set up, and there was a Switch 2 Pro Controller, you know, set up right near it. And, you know, I could have tried it right there, but I was kind of... I already decided, like, this morning, like, you know what, I'm just gonna go grab this thing. So yeah. For this video, I'll be unboxing this and trying in a few games and just seeing how it holds up, basically. Get my, you know, actual opinion on this guy. Yeah, it's also pretty big for the shot, the box. But we'll get this box out of the way pretty soon. Yeah, it does sound kind of silly when I'm like, oh, I want this so I can have a controller that wakes up my system. You know, without me having to use, like, the Joy-Con 2, because that's pretty much the only way I've been able to wake up the system is with the Joy-Con 2. The Joy-Con, I'm sorry, the Pro Controllers for the Switch 1, they do not actually wake the system. I don't know why I feel that's such a big deal to me, but it's definitely... I'm definitely grabbing this controller for the convenience factor. But anyway, here's the back of the box. Let's see. Yeah, it features NFC functionality, capture button, C button, which can open game chat, which is still something I've not used. And then GL and GR buttons. This I feel, so aside from like what this controller feels like, which I'm definitely intrigued just from everything I've been hearing. The GL and GR back buttons get displayed by like the side of the box here. So yes, they are back buttons that you would see in like you know, like a Pro Controller like the DualSense Edge or whatever whoever Xbox has going on. I don't even know. But the thing with these back buttons is that you can program these on the fly for your specific game. And then once you turn on a different game, then you can assign buttons for that particular game. And then it's like whatever game you turn on, the controller remembers, oh, you set these buttons to do certain things for this certain game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to checking that out. I believe those back buttons are going to have pretty good functionality for both Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bananza. Let's see here. Just kind of opening this guy. Oh, okay. So this thing's on a tray. Let me see. Here we go. Got the box. It's empty in there, basically. A little hard to show that, but yeah, it's an empty box. Alright, so we have the typical Nintendo USB cable. This looks... I think it looks slightly different than all the other ones I have, but it's in like a... Oh, jeez. It's in one of these Ziploc baggies, one of these sandwich baggies or something. That's interesting. And alright, we've got the Pro Controller sitting in this kind of foam-ish wrap. I don't know what this material is. Alright, let's take this bad boy out of here. It might actually have some juice in it. But, there we go. Alright. So already, I can tell. I'm gonna get this out of the way. Yeah. I can tell this thing feels different. It's a different shape, too. I keep pressing the back button as well. The back buttons are, well, let me just... Oh, wow. Wow, this is a... Oh, man, let me just... You guys, you hear that matte black material? Oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay, I gotta try these analog sticks. Oh, brother. Okay, these analog sticks? Oh, wow. Oh my god. I apologize if I sound so strange. Oh, yeah, people were not kidding. These analog sticks? Okay, so when I unboxed the Switch 2, I said like, oh, the Joy-Con 2 analog sticks, they feel like really, really smooth. But yeah, I feel like that was because the things are brand new. I mean, they still feel fine. I'm just kind of, yeah, they still feel kind of smooth. My Switch 2 is docked like right beside me, but like, nah, there's something different about these sticks, bro. So, also from what I've seen and heard, like, the analog stick, I don't know how well I could show this. When you move it, yeah, you see that? So the actual stick does not touch the rim. Because what's happening is that there is actually I guess like a rubber ring on the inside that like the bottom of the analog stick, like the bottom of the housing is actually rubbing up against on the inside. Like it's rubbing up against an inner rubber ring, and that's why these analog sticks feel so smooth. Couple that with the fact that the actual stick portions do not touch these like plastic rims here, because great example. Well, here's the Switch Pro controller, this first Switch Pro controller. And if you look here, I've been using this a lot with Donkey Kong Bananza. Yeah, you can see a lot of this white dust that builds up because this analog stick actually touches the rim. So when you're like dashing around and doing whatever may have you, yeah, this stick is constantly making contact with the rim, so it's gonna build up all this dust. And then the dust might actually get trapped inside and cause some stick drift or something. It doesn't seem like that'll be the case with this new controller. It is generally a quieter... Oh, yeah. Like, let me just... I'm just gonna, like smack the sticks around on the Switch 1 Pro controller. Right? And let's do the same for the Switch 2 Pro controller. Oh wow, that is way quieter. Yeah, I heard Nintendo was touting like, oh, this thing is like much quieter, but like I think the main thing people wanted was like Hall effect joysticks, which unfortunately this controller does not have. But it feels higher quality. It feels... You know what's weird? It also feels smaller, right? It feels a little slimmer. I'm not sure how well I can, yeah, like the actual handles are like a different shape. So interesting. Yeah, like the Switch 2 Pro controller just feels, oh man. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this thing feels pretty amazing. I don't think it has any juice in it though. I'm pressing the buttons, like the light. So the lights are up here as opposed to down below. I've actually got this thing on because I got a game I want to test first. D-pad. It feels a little improved. A little bit outside. Okay. So we can definitely try that out. Obviously, it's got the game chat button. It's got the headphone jack. You could plug in headphones, and I guess you can get your game audio out that way. Light indicator, sync button. and all that. Shoulder buttons, they are digital. The triggers are digital, I mean, like they're just like a button and not like an analog thing. Yeah, and of course we have the GL and GR buttons on the back. So yeah, I guess I'll get this thing synced up and whatever. Maybe I'll plug in a wire or something, and yeah, we'll try some games. Alright, y'all, we're on the controller, like, I don't know, the change grip order menu. Let's go ahead. I've got the... I actually noticed something. This cable feels a lot more flexible than the cables they included with, like, the Switch 1 controllers. It honestly just... It feels really nice. But anyway, that's like a small detail. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this guy in right now. And it has paired with the system. Nice. Something that I heard was that the Switch 2 Pro Controller actually charges like twice as fast as the Switch 1 Pro Controller, so I'm not gonna sit here and do battery tests, but I mean, I'll just take their word for it, really. It does sound nice. Anyway, I have the Switch 1 Pro Controller already synced up, so I'm gonna be using this to just navigate for a second. Gonna change the grip order. Okay. And I'm gonna hit the A button on the Switch 2 Pro Controller, and there we go. So the way it shows up on this menu, the bumpers up there are white. So the Switch 2 knows that this is a Switch 2 Pro Controller. Okay. Real nice, real nice. Now, the first thing I want to test is the D-pad. The D-pad on the Switch 1 Pro Controller, there was a lot of controversy with that because it wasn't the best feeling D-pad. You know, it would be really easy to like misinput directions, something like that. I'm just gonna have a look at how this feels. I'm gonna be using Metroid Fusion right here as a test, so I'm gonna see if it's like easy to like input a down input when I'm just pressing like right. I mean, yeah. It's not as easy. Oh, wow. I think it feels easier when I do it on the left side, but let me just try using it like a normal. Yeah, I kind of inputted up by accident there. I mean, it's not perfect. I feel like I had to be intentionally trying to do this. But the D-pad feels slightly better, just not perfect. But yeah, it does, it at least feels a little better. Not as stiff. But alright, that's pretty much the D-pad test. It's overall like almost kind of the same as the Switch 1 Pro Controller, which is a little disappointing, but it does feel a little nicer. Maybe I just like the material on this a little better. But anyway, let's try another game. Alright, now we're in some Mario Kart World. I noticed another thing about the controller. The plus and minus buttons actually sit up a lot higher. They're not as recessed like on the Switch 1 Pro Controller. I only noticed that because I just hit plus to go into free roam. I literally just took note of that like right now. Let me see. I'm also feeling the HD rumble too a little bit. Just a little bit. But mainly what I wanted to test here was the GL and GR buttons. So if I hold the home button right here, yep. So right here, there is a little menu saying, okay, you can assign the left button to something, you can assign the right button to something. So let's assign GR, A. So you just press A, and now I'm going to, I guess I'll turn this controller around so you see it clearly. So here's the GR button. I just assigned this to A, which should be accelerate. So let's press. And there we go. We're accelerating. So the reason why this would be a big deal is because now I can hold this GR button to accelerate. So now my thumb is free. My thumb is actually free. I can still drive like normal. The reason why this could be a big deal is because you can also move the camera while accelerating. So you wouldn't be able to do this if A was to accelerate, or rather if you were using A to accelerate. I mean, you can turn on like auto accelerate in this game, but then you kind of lose control of your vehicle a bit. So just having like a thumb-free accelerate is nice. But you can, apparently you can move the camera and throw items to like the side of you. I honestly, I have not tried to do that yet. Mostly because like doing it like the default way is just kind of unintuitive, but that is one example of what you could do with these back buttons. And so now let's go into another game because, you know, one of the big things, as I said earlier with the GL and GR buttons, is it's a game-by-game basis in the way that you assign these back buttons. So Donkey Kong Bonanza, where this can matter a lot is switching the Bananza abilities. I will say, kind of spoilers. I'm going to show Bananza abilities that were not shown by Nintendo, so yeah. Alright, so here we go, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Obviously a wonderful game. So the Bananza abilities down here, you have to... So in order to switch between them, you have to use the D-pad. You can go into the menu and reassign them to like the left and right sticks, but I honestly do not like that. I do not like to accidentally click the sticks and go to a Bonanza I did not intend to. Also, in general, it just doesn't feel that good to actually switch between Bonanza abilities using the stick clicks. So, let's pull up the menu again. And as you can see, so in Mario Kart World, I assigned the GR button to the A button. But it's going, but it only saved that for Mario Kart World. For Donkey Kong Bonanza, it can save different buttons. So, in this case for GL, let's hit left on the D-pad. GR, let's hit right on the D-pad. We'll just get rid of that menu. And, I accidentally pressed up on the D-pad to bring up the skill tree thing. But let's see. Without even touching the D-pad, if I use the GL and GR buttons, as you can see, I can switch between Bonanza abilities. So, I mean, I could be in, like, Snake. I can jump, press ZL, and, GL, excuse me. And, yeah. It's like, now I can switch between the Bonanza abilities in a more intuitive way. Yeah, I think going into Snake and then into Ostrich is like the main thing. Like, I don't have to touch the D-pad and I don't have to click the sticks. I can just use the back buttons. And I can literally just, in the most intuitive way, like, switch between the Bonanza abilities. It's really nice. Because beforehand, you'd have to, like press on the D-pad and junk, but then you take your thumb off, like, you know, where the buttons in which you use the punch or jump, pretty much. Like, you could, like, at this point, I could switch Bonanza abilities while moving the camera. I guess the only way to make this, like, 100% more optimal is to now switch the, I don't know, get the jump button on, like, a shoulder button. Like, I had to, like, reassign that in the menu, but I think I'm good, man. But you guys get the point here. So finally, I figure I'd go ahead and test a Nintendo Switch 1 game. I figured the perfect example would be Splatoon 3 because it's for a few reasons. One, motion controls. I gotta say, it might be a placebo effect because this is a brand new controller I literally just bought today. It feels better. It feels like it is better. I don't know. It may be better. Granted, I'm holding the controller in kind of an awkward way for the camera, but like, I don't know. I might need to, I might need to play some games with this. Oh man. It feels a little different than the Switch 1 Pro controller, these motion controls, you know? I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't... It feels like it is a little better, but I also wanted to go ahead and see if I can remap the GL and GR buttons in the Switch 1 game. So let's see, what would be What would be a good button to reassign? I guess jump, right? I guess jump. Let's remap GR to the B button. All right, so we can pull up this menu. We can hit the GR button selection and press B. And there we go. We can remove the menu, and now GR is jump, which means now I can press that to jump while moving the camera and using the motion controls. Pretty nice. Okay. And let's see. Let's also map GL to the R button. And what that will allow me to do is use bombs. I can use bombs while keeping my my left pointer finger on the shoot button. So I never have to like shift between them. I can always have. I could pretty much just be trigger happy all I want. Maybe this would be more efficient. I don't know, but it's a couple ideas. But yeah, for a Switch 1 game, yes, you could still remap the buttons. I guess if there were any concerns, I don't know. But yeah, you guys, that'll do it for this video. The Switch 2 Pro Controller it's feeling pretty promising as a controller in general. It's really nice. Feels very premium, feels very solid. I guess another little detail in terms of the handles is like the Switch 1 Pro Controller's handles were like these separate kind of sleeves. So they would creak quite a bit. But not the case on the Switch 2 Pro Controller. These are like pretty much this front facing panel here is like, I think it's on here via like an adhesive, but it makes the handles feel a lot more solid. The GL and GR buttons will be very useful for certain games. I'm sure of it. I'm probably gonna have all sorts of ideas really for these, so I'll be sure to try that out. And yeah, this is just basically an unboxing, first impressions, some testing for the Switch 2 Pro Controller. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video on this after I've used it for an extended period of time. And yeah, I guess with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, as I'll be posting more gaming stuff. And yeah, maybe consider becoming a channel member so I can display your name here on screen at the end of the videos. And why not click that video on the left? This YouTube link should like that one next. I am going to be gaming. Gaming with the new controller. Yes, indeed. See y'all.